So I'm going to invite first on stage this incredible human being. I met him about a year ago. I became his fan when he addressed the audience back then, and I think he has continued to, light up rooms, light up the country, make fabulous reforms, and has continued to do justice to the portfolio he holds. Ladies and gentlemen, give him a huge, thunderous round of applause, because I'm going to invite on stage the Minister of State with independent charge for power, coal, and new and renewable energy in the Government of India, the one and only, the very handsome Mr. Piyush Goyal. So, I have to say this again, okay? I'm your fangirl. All right, okay. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us on stage is this incredible person who is always on time. Well, no offense, just saying. Okay, he's been watching the entire show. He's had this constant smile on his face. He's very intelligent because, wow, who does this? I mean, he is the 11th rank holder in the country in CA. Like, I can just, like bow down to thee and take your blessings, and I wish I had 10% of your IQ, but then I guess it's justified because his name is Suresh, which means, the biggest of all gods, and his second name is Prabhu. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the God of CA and the Honorable Railway Minister of India, Mr. Suresh Prabhu on stage. A louder round of applause, everyone. Come on. So, gentlemen, I'm going to request you to divide yourselves between the other two people I'm going to invite on stage. The next person I'm going to invite is someone you cannot miss in this room because his jacket takes up all the attention. Wow. Like, he's that perfect pillow that you want to, cuddle up to. Ladies and gentlemen, he is the organizing committee chairman of ELECRAMA 2016 with 3 decades of experience being a leader and a team builder. So please put your hands together. Welcome on stage, Aditya Ardut. What a man! Jagas! Ladies and gentlemen, last but certainly not the least, joining me on stage this evening is someone whose name is just incredible. Like, he's a fable, but he's just Babel. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome on stage the IT Managing Director of Secure Meters Limited. He's been instrumental in taking India to the global map. So he's been the cheerleader almost taking Indian brands globally. He's opened up many new sectors, new markets. He's fantastic. What a great personality just to talk to. And he's British, but he's quite smiley that way. Please put your hands together. Welcome on stage, Mr. Babu. Babu Babel, please. Welcome, gentlemen.
Just a sec. I have nobody sitting left of me, so can I say I love you?
Oh, I'm single. All right, please, gentlemen, take your seats. Everyone, do you want to give us a collective loud round of applause? All right. Okay, so, let's go ahead and deep dive into our first question. So I heard that this morning, you were talking about how alternate energy is going to be really, really cheap, like 4 rupees 63 paisa. I don't remember what was the last thing I could buy with 4 rupees 63 paisa. So how excited are you about this thing? And do you think if 4 rupees 63 paisa can get us electricity, can get us energy, do you think at some day it would be free? Like, it's almost free, right? It's almost free.
463 was the price we discovered for solar energy.
Right.
About 2-3 months ago. After that, it's fallen to 434 for your kind information.
Thank you. And it's free, right?
Only thing is, then there are other costs. There's distribution, transmission, and then all the rich people in this room have to pay a little more. To support
Swachh
the poor.
Bharat as well.
0.5%.
The way the minister negotiates, if you give it free, he'll say, give me 2 units.
Yeah.
But yeah, what we could look at is that if all these esteemed members of AIMA and ELECRAMA give us all the equipment that we require free, then I promise you I can look at free power.
But we'll still charge you taxes, huh? Like, taxes to jayega, magar. But
Zero के ऊपर tax भी zero ही होता है.
But I need to ask you a question. I mean, is that your voice or just today is like you're sounding so sexy?
I'm not on time. I sound bad. Something is wrong here.
No,
today.
come on. I think he sounds just amazing.
No,
Like I
I've
would
been
die
talking
to have that
since
voice right now.
10:30 and I haven't stopped talking.
All right, Mr. Prabhu, I've been told that off the stage, you and Mr. Goel share a great relationship of friends. You guys have known each other for a long, long time. So let's ask you if you had to, I mean, in my head, I picture them as Jay and Viru. Like really, that's like the thing in my head, right? So could you tell us 3 things about Mr. Goel that we don't know?
You know, normally, all these, our old friends, I know, everybody try to innovate technology, new ideas, new thing. So normally, when you talk about technology, you talk about generations. So, you talk about the first generation technology, second generation, third generation, fourth generation. But then I realized he's a generation younger to me, but didn't realize that in one generation, you could transform so much. So I think this is a technological innovation, not just in terms of machines and ideas, but something who has been able to do so much in the power sector in the last less than 2 years is phenomenal. So I'm very happy that such a brilliant, competent, committed, dedicated person is driving the power sector, which unfortunately
Like, does he sing in the bathroom?
was languishing for about a decade, so I'm very happy. It is back on track, and hopefully we'll be able to make sure that all our dreams of making India a better place would be realized essentially through power sector, because power is the main thing. If you have power, you can make in India. If you have power, you can remove poverty. If you have power, you can remove social disparity. So power is the main thing, and I'm very happy that none other than Piyush Goyal is driving it.
Yay! A louder round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. But sir, I have to add this. So I was given your entire introduction. I don't know why they did this, but they just gave me your date of birth, like the whole thing. So I know exactly how old you are. I'm just saying. He just gave he's younger than me. I know, I have your date of birth.
You don't have mine.
No, exactly. So, but Mr. Goyal, tell us 3 things about Mr. Prabhu that we don't know. We know he's
I
older.
think most people, of course, know that he was Power Minister of India 10, 12 years ago, 14 years ago. And to my mind, the most successful Power Minister ever, because he's the true architect of reform in this sector. The Electricity Amendment, new act that he brought in, the restructuring of the entire public sector undertakings. I don't know if you're all aware, the innovative thought that NTPC, Coal India, DVC, PGCIL, all these public sector companies, which were literally down the tube, they were all making losses, all in trouble, not able to pay salaries also in time. It was Sureshji who came up with the innovative thought that we should have a tripartite agreement between the state government, the public sector companies, and Reserve Bank of India. And this tripartite agreement was to ensure that if anybody does not pay the public sector companies for supplying coal or power or transmission, they could call on the Reserve Bank to cut it from the state government money and pay the PSUs. He brought that innovation 14 years ago.
Wow.
But the good news, ladies and gentlemen, is that that has not had to be used even once in 14 years. The deterrent was itself so powerful. I mean, after all, we have laws in the country. You have laws by which you can go to the gallows if you commit a crime and all of that. But it still happens. Sureshji brought in a whole ecosystem. For 14 years has never had to be used even once. And all these companies have turned around to be blue chip Maharatnas and Navratnas. I believe his innovative thinking in the power sector. Of course, he was also chairman of the advisory board, which helped me navigate and understand this sector before he himself joined government. And truly a visionary in the power sector is Suresh Prabhu. You can't get it better than that.
Well,
Secondly, I think most people would know that he's an eminent banker. So, along with being a chartered accountant, he's been an eminent banker and a person who believes very passionately in supporting small and medium enterprises, micro enterprises, people who are entrepreneurs wanting to start out fresh, startups and new small age industry. He headed Saraswat Bank? Saraswat Bank as its chairman for several years. And the beauty of Saraswat Bank was it was a cooperative bank which was started by community leaders from the GSB community, Gaur Saraswat Brahman community, but whose focus was on seeding new entrepreneurs, supporting them with the initial capital that can help them to become big shot honchos and business tycoons. So in that sense, he visualized the ability of Indians to think big, to perform big, but inability to have adequate capital. And he brought them both together. That's the second aspect of Sureshji that's truly remarkable. And of course, the third aspect, which I have personal knowledge of, is that he has one of the most wonderful persons as his wife and a absolutely dashing young man as his son.
that's ma'am right there. Ladies and
Uma,
gentlemen,
Uma.
please give it up for the lady who has the power in the house. Yes, sir. Huh. Is that true? Which was the last Hindi movie you watched? Question. Which was the last Hindi movie you watched, sir?
Well, actually,
No! Wait. Oh my God, seriously? I was born then. I was born, yeah. Really? Ram Teri Ganga Meli?
after that it has not been cleaned, so now it is getting cleaned, so we'll watch again.
That was a good one. Okay, so I mean, okay, this is a question to all the married people on this, on the dais at the moment. So we know that, you all are responsible to lighting up the country, lighting up, taking India on the global map. It's all about power. But really, who has the power at home?
So I contribute to all those big decisions in life, what we should do about our power policy,
Right.
What should the country be doing, what's happening, economic crisis around the world. But what my children should be doing, where we should go out, what we should eat,
Yeah, what dinner?
when should go to bed, all those decisions are taken by my wife. I'll remind you a small story. There's a guy walking around on a street at 3 o'clock in the morning, and he met another stranger, and this guy said, "What have you thought about?" He said, "Thought about what?" He said, "What are you going to tell your wife?" And he said, I'm not even married." He said, "What the hell are you doing at 3 o'clock in the morning? Go and sleep."
Fantastic. Mr. Prabhu, tell us about who has the power at home and how is it so distinct? Sorry,
What
one
is
second.
more
But you know
important?
what? I think Mr. Prabhu came wearing a white shirt, but then he sat next to his beautiful wife and he's just blushing. He can't stop blushing.
But what is more important question to ask
Yes.
is who has the power to say truthfully in presence of your wife when she is there?
She has all the power, all of it is hers. Fantastic. Mr. Goyal.
I don't know if you watched 2.5 Men. Berta has all the power. It's the maid at home.
Bravo. There speaks the true powerful man. Like he has the truth right there. And Mr. Dhoot. It's Berta.
Can I answer this question, Smita?
Yeah, no. Did she say no? Okay, now you know.
I mean, it's
मैंने वो तो बोलना भी नहीं पड़ता है आंखों में इतना डर जाइए कि मुंह नहीं खुला
you said you're not married, right?
Yes.
So
I would never know.
you're totally on that side,
Yeah.
This side you just don't know. So, I mean, It's a wrong question, isn't it, ladies and gentlemen?
Yeah, I think
Saif,
so.
it's a totally wrong question to ask. Who has?
Ross to Bombay mein.
So he can.
Saif is single.
Right.
Oh, Saif is single. Very nice. So my mother's sitting right next to you, Saif. Seriously, she's right there. Okay, say hi to her. You know, make things okay. I've got time after this. We'll go for dinner. Everything is sorted. Just let's seal this deal. Kuch to ho benefits, matlab. All right. So I know that both you gentlemen, actually all you gentlemen on stage love to travel. So if you had to just take off time from your busy schedules and travel, where would you all travel?
After every overseas or international trip or vacation, as we are heading back home, my kids want to know when are we going to Goa and when are we going to go to the Leela beach there and just chill out.
Super. वहाँ पे plug-in भी हो गया, Leela. Oh, fantastic. What about you, Mr. Prabhu?
You know,
You've traveled
Now-
about 100 countries, you know, I read that in your...
yeah, but that is past. I've been to 120 countries, but now the Prime Minister has clearly laid down a rule for me that you can travel wherever the train goes.
Oh, lovely.
And he has a saloon all to himself, the minister's saloon.
Wow.
So like the Orient Express or the Palace on Wheels.
Lovely.
Some of
Y'all
us
are
should be
very
invited
important
over
people.
there.
Y'all are very important people for me to know. I mean, after that, you know, after all, I have to go with Saif, you know, somewhere fancy. Okay. So what we're going to do is throw out names to y'all, all right? And then y'all can just answer. Give me one word to describe each of these people, okay? One word each, all right? Since we were speaking about Jay and Veeru, isn't Veeru Dharmender? Okay, very good. Yeah, so Dharmender, how would you describe him? One word. Dharampaji.
Words से जगह आप दिखा रहे
Woo! Dharampaji, Dharmender. How would you describe him? Do you even know him? It's like, do you know? Yeah, did you know Dharmender? The actor. Oh. It is not your brother-in-law. Okay, so.
Well, he's got the dream girl.
Ah. And?
माँ कैसी है माँ?
Okay, we're going to start from there. Gandhiji. Gandhiji.
Respect.
Respect.
Faith.
Gandhiji. One word. Oh my God, he took it so seriously.
Please first clarify which Gandhiji you're talking about.
The bald one.
Oh, that is mind-boggling. Oh, this is the ultimate thing.
Fine.
This is the ultimate thing. Wow, absolutely fine.
So we're going to start with Mr. Prabhu. So we're going to start with Mr. Prabhu and this one, Modi ji.
You know, of course, in my opinion, there is only one real Mahatma Gandhi. And there is something which really all of us must understand, that I'm not making a speech, but just because you asked me something which my inner voice. A man who could communicate with almost the twice of size of India at that time, because Bangladesh, Pakistan was part of India. The literacy rate was as low as 20-30%. There was no TV. So literacy rate was so low, that means obviously people could not even read. Radio was the only communication which was also not available anywhere. How he must have communicated
I know.
to which such a large number of people, make them rally around one single idea, and could actually accomplish something in his own lifetime. And that's something which is an exceptionally great achievement. And I think that is why I think we don't have to look around too much.
Yeah.
We have so much within ourselves. There is so much our own past, our own tradition, our own culture teaches us. If we can just try to reinvent ourselves into that and actually start working on that, just imagine what we will be.
Sorry, so we were asking about Modi ji. our Prime Minister, the Prime Minister of our country?
You know, it's an exceptional great human being. You know, there are people, anybody who thinks honestly to himself about him, they'll all admire him. But sometimes for political reasons, sometimes out of fear, sometimes out of some other reason, we try to run down. But a person who is trying to pull the country out
Yes.
of so many different challenges that we are facing today,
Right.
in the most difficult time frame in the world history, world economic history.
Yep.
Today, not only economic, generally, if you look around the world, everything is unsafe. If you look at the economy, everything is unpredictable. And in that challenging time to pull country like India out of so many challenges that we are facing today is an exceptionally great thing. So I think if we can do like this, so many people voted for him. We got a majority for the first time after 30 years. Why not we actually give this government a chance to work for 5 years? If we fail to do something, throw us out, no problem.
Yeah.
But at least for 5 years we can do something. You know, I don't want to
Absolutely
say
right.
it again. It looked like a flattery, but honestly, look at Piyush Goyal, the first time minister. He's
In
the
28 years
first
of
time
political
MP.
career.
First time MP. He was not an MP, he was not a minister, handling 3 most difficult ministries. And just imagine what he has done in last 2 years. So if he works for 5 years
Fangirl.
and gets another 5 years, I'm sure he will get. You can imagine what will happen. So what I'm saying is, Prime Minister Modi is really trying to take country to a different level. And Make in India today is going on. In fact, both of
Yes,
us should have been
in
there.
Mumbai, yeah.
But thanks to our love for IMA and love for this industry, we are all here. But point I'm saying is, this particular program, Make in India, very digital India, whether it is not just slogans. These are all long-term, well-laid down plans. They are being unveiled. And you cannot accomplish all this. I was just saying the other day for Economic Times program that all these are not just sprints. They are marathon races which are running.
And I
if
think
you
it's a
succeed
great time
and
of
will
communication that
And you
we're
mean
in.
to say, you know, one thing I'm saying, don't expect something extraordinary from us. Expect something which is fair and will deliver in 5 years. And that too, I'm not saying that it can be delivered without the participation of everybody.
No, no.
Let us all join hands, we can do wonders.
Yeah, we're team leaders. Thank you so much.
Well, you've all heard that na khaunga na khane dunga. Of course, सुरेश जी और मेरे लिए तो थोड़ा और भी है, ना सोऊंगा ना सोने दूंगा. But I'll just share a small incident and then I'll have to take your leave, ma'am. There was an occasion I was having an interaction with him at his home and an issue cropped up about a decision of mine which had cost Coal India, one of the companies under me, a loss of 2,500 crore rupees, but which had helped reduce the cost of power for the people of India correspondingly, and the availability of power. It had improved the availability of power. So there was a discussion going on around that, and some people were alluding to the fact that this should not have been done. This loss of Coal India is too high. And I was trying to plead the case, the availability of power and cheaper power was more important. And Prime Minister made a comment which I'd like to share with all of you. And in some sense, it reflects the man's thinking, it reflects the ideology of the man, and it reflects his concern for India. He turned to me and he said in Hindi, and I'd rather say it in Hindi so that it drives home better. I don't mind translating it for the benefit of the foreigners here. He said, Piyush, कब तक हम इस देश में एक कंपनी या एक व्यक्ति के प्रॉफिट एंड लॉस को देखते रहेंगे? कभी किसी ने पूरे देश के प्रॉफिट एंड लॉस का अंदाजा लिया है क्या? And I think in a sense, in that one small sentence, he gave a very deep message which, as Suresh ji said, for Team India, for all of us, has a deep meaning. That it's time that we as a nation rise to eliminate poverty, rise to transform India, rise to meet the aspirations of young India, these 600 million youth of India who are looking for a better future for themselves. And when all of us work together as Team India, I have no doubt in my mind the nation's profit is going to be huge. The dividends for the people of India are going to be extraordinary. And as a bonus, we will get Narendra Modi back in after 3 more years. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's a serious high to leave this conversation on. Thank you very, very much.
Sir, एक second, sir. So just last word. So you all both have been so gracious and high praise, sir. Suresh ji has been a great fan of EMA. Sir, एक चीज बोल देता. I'm sorry, I just have to say this in Hindi. कि लोग अक्सर कहते हैं कि जिंदा रहे तो फिर मिलेंगे. लोग अक्सर कहते हैं जिंदा रहे तो फिर मिलेंगे. मैं लेकिन कहता हूं सर, मिलते रहेंगे तो ही जिंदा रहेंगे.
Ladies and gentlemen, that brings us.
There is one secret. There's one secret I want to tell you. You said about he says CA 11th rank. He is CA 2nd rank.
And law second rank. I'm sorry, but this table is too intelligent.
The secret about power sector is appoint a topper CA, and the power problem will be solved.
Thank you very, very much. Namaste. Thank you very, very much. So should we continue or should we continue? Okay. Thank you very much. Could we have a loud round of applause for Mr. Goel, who just had to catch a flight? And he has to, sit in that first class thing and then open his laptop and his
He's going on Indigo flight.
first row. Yeah.
You made
Extra
a,
leg space, I know.
You made a mistake of having a pun at Brits. There's a British minister sitting there in the audience.
Hi, I'm so sorry, but I love you
Baroness
too.
Verma is there. And husband is Verma.
No, look at her smile. I would have never guessed. All right. I think we spoke about Modi ji. Very quickly, please tell me how would you all define Arnab Goswami in one word? I really wanted Piyush sir's answer on this one, by the way. Yeah. So how would you define, do you know Arnab Goswami?
Of course he knows Arnab Goswami.
How would you define him in one word?
To be fair, he's a good personal friend, so I would rather not comment on that. But what I'm saying is, see, look at it like this. If we have to progress together as a country, then I think there has to be an alignment of all the important influencers on one common goal.
Correct.
In fact, that is what I feel, whether it is media, whether it is business, whether it is politics, whether it is NGOs and all of that. I think if we can agree on some of the common goals for the country, whether we want to achieve so much of economic growth, we want to make sure that these are the issues which will deal with this particular manner. And if all of us work on that common goal, rather than not waste our energy into trying to pull each other apart, what would happen to the country? So I think we have to.
I think that's what the
come out
nation
with
demands.
No, honestly, and this is something which I feel it is all doable.
It is.
It is not. I'll give an example because Piyush, my good friend, he just left. I remember when I was a Minister of Power about more than 12 years ago, there was a big challenge of free power. Everybody was saying free power, free power. So as he said, if you all can give free equipment, I used to always say that if you can generate free power, we can give free power. So you must first develop technology for free power. But why I'm giving the example is, that seemed to be the big problem at that time. So I had proposed an idea, I went to the Chief Election Commissioner, Mr. Gill, who was the Chief Commissioner at that time, that why not agree on a common goal for the country? And all political parties must agree that they will follow this, particularly the free power. Because then if you don't give free power, he gives, that's why I want to give. Because I want to compete with him. If all of us say that we will not give free power, automatically this problem is at risk. So therefore I'm saying such common objectives for the country.
Yeah, the broader
including
goals.
Media, including business, by everybody should be agreed.
That's fantastic. I mean, the philosophy, and that's what deserves a huge round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. But then I'm supposed to be the one who takes this conversation a little the other side. But I really liked what Mr. Prabhu started with. You see, he's a good guy. He's a good guy. Now see, this is the problem that we Indians have, and I'm going to take the liberty of taking my best friend's joke. So my best friend's a stand-up comedian, and he has this joke. He says, "Hamare Indian mein ek hi problem hai, we'd be like, वो गधा है, पैसे लिया भाग गया, पता है वो इधर का काम उधर करता है, उधर की बात इधर करता है, but very good heart. मतलब we will say everything bad about the person, but then we have to make up because we have a conscience, no? So we'll be like, but he has a good heart. So ladies and gentlemen, I think Mr. Arnab Goswami has a very good heart.
Okay, Cobra,
How would you say it?
do you want to know about Arnab or the nation wants to know?
I've had the opportunity to introduce him on stage a couple of times, and I think he's fantastic. He really is.
And I think
He's really, really a powerful, powerful voice.
I think one word is all that he allows the other guy to say.
Exactly. So if you had one word to describe him, what would it be?
Awesome.
Awesome. Okay.
Can I get 2 words?
Okay. Very awesome.
Honest and loud.
Honest and loud. Fair enough. Okay, I think we've got time for like one question, one last question. Let's close it on. Okay, let's just ask you. What is the one superpower you'd like to have? That's what we're going to end on. Okay, so if you had a superpower, what would it be?
What's for that?
Superpower. If you could have a superpower, if you could disappear, if you could. Yeah, what would be your superpower?
A superpower, you want to change something.
No, maybe you just want, I don't know, maybe you want to disappear. Anything. What is your superpower?
Actually, honestly speaking,
If you could be Iron Man for a day.
I
If
was-
you could be like,
I know.
I don't know, if you could
Let me-
overpower the wife for one day. I don't know.
Let me give a little serious answer to this.
Oh.
Because if you were asking me earlier about Mahatma Gandhi,
Yes.
why could Mahatma Gandhi accomplish so much? Because, it's like a
Right.
superpower. Why? Because deep down, he was more spiritual than anything else. So if at all, if you want to look at a superpower to change something, you have to change yourself. You cannot change, unless you change yourself, you cannot change others. And that is why I think if we can really, really try to look into oneself and try to do that, I think that's the biggest superpower one can generate. And that can transform not only yourself, but others as well.
I'm going to take an inspired line. Thoko tali. Fantastic. I think it was great. What would be the superpower that you would like to have, Mr. Dhoot?
Before that, sir, I know Hindi films you've not seen, sir. So a very tricky question. I'm just taking, I don't want this to be the last question. That's why I'm just budging in presently. Sir, if you were not a minister,
What would you be?
I know you were a banker, you're a chartered accountant. Which hobby would you like to pursue, sir? Which hobby? I know have been a banker.
Actually, I lived many lives in one life. So I had many, many things to do. In fact, when you're asking me how I used to travel, I used to travel like almost every alternate day. And once a week I was going abroad. So people used to ask me, how do you beat the jet lag? I said, I don't beat the jet lag, I cheat the jet lag. So how do you cheat the jet lag? Because jet lag doesn't know whether I'm coming in here or going out where. So they don't know anything. So jet lag gets confused. So therefore, the hobby part is like this. Because doing many things at the same time itself is a hobby. If I was going to do only one thing at one time, of course, unfortunately, one wife, but I'm just saying.
Unfortunately.
He just said unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my God.
But I'm saying, if you have to do
सर
many
आपको
things.
तो मतलब खा पी के वापस घर ही जाना है सर आप देख
also-
दिखा के तोल मोल के बोलो सर बस
I also read about 4 or 5 different books at the same time. I keep reading all the time, but I keep reading different books. So I think, this is something, it changes, takes a load out of your mind. Today is the budget for the railway, so we have done that. But if I was just going to sit there, probably I may not be able to do much, except you can look around the issues. So I think the best hobby, as far as I'm concerned, is to not just do one thing at a time, but do many things. And in fact, my wife always keeps complaining that you go to one place for one meeting, you are not happy, you'll do 10 more things. That is what I am
like
made
take
out
me
to.
shopping while we are there at the meeting. Oh, fantastic. Great. What's your superpower? Superpower, right? Yeah, what was your superpower?
Well, since this debate has become very serious, and I thought I'm only giving the jovial answers, so I'm.
Oh, look at him, I'm so jokey. I'm like, oh, I'm funnier than Varun Thakur.
No, on a serious note, this is embedded by my parents to me. If I could get one wish and a superpower, at one time, I could serve thousands of people by my own hands food who don't get food. There's one power which I'd like to do that. It gives me immense pleasure to see serving people.
Amazing. And Mr. Babu?
Well, I've been listening to the Honorable Prime Minister. He's not here, but I must make a comment. He kept saying that make this cheaper, cheaper, cheaper. I want a superpower, but we agree, guys, make some money.
Here, Babu.
Ladies and gentlemen, time for you to raise your glasses to that. Let's say cheers to getting rich, to being powerful, and to being amazing and kind. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for this honor. Could we have a huge round of applause?
Can
Thank you.
I narrate 2 lines, please, for the
Thank you.
for the great electrical people?
Yes.
In Bijli Walon ki adaon mein, there's a debate about AC or DC.
Oh, wait, hold on. So this would be the last question. I heard you were narrating a poetry. You recited a poetry earlier, but it was a very serious one. Do you want to recite like a lighter poetry?
Yeah, so there's a debate going on AC, DC. Had century ago debate about whether alternating current is right or direct current is right. Now, this one is Hindi, so in Bijli Walon ki, in Hasinaon ki adaon mein, kuch AC bhi hai, kuch DC bhi hai. कुछ चिपट के मरते हैं, कुछ झटक के मरते हैं.
Thank you very, very much. Thank you, gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give them a huge round of applause. Come on.
And guys, a big round of applause for Cobra, please.
Thank you. Thank you very, very much.